I've never been a fan of the whole squat for a better butt thing. I think squats are honestly overrated as a glute move, but that's a video for another day. And while I do think you need a diversity of movements to really get the best results for any muscle group, I wanted to share one of my favorite dumbbell glute exercises that I think is often forgotten about and overlooked. It's the dumbbell skier swing. The kettlebell swing is an amazing hip hinge exercise to work on that explosive glute power and even your strength endurance based on how you implement it. It's not only a great move to improve your conditioning, but also your strength. But if we don't have a kettlebell, we often then don't think about utilizing this amazing movement. That's why I wanted to share a great way to use dumbbells to perform a swing and include this great move in your routine. However, I do just want to mention before breaking down this movement how it's key we learn to hip hinge correctly first. Often swings are blamed for lower back pain. And while swings are not bad for your back, they do require core control and proper recruitment patterns during hip hinging to make sure they don't result in overload or injury. Because of the fact that they are a more explosive, faster paced movement, we do want to make sure you can properly load those glutes and hamstrings and brace your abs during hip hinging before including this exercise. Remember that when you are performing a hip hinge, you are not simply leaning forward. The hip hinge should be initiated by sitting your butt back as if reaching your butt towards the wall behind you. And then while your knees may soften, you aren't focused on active knee flexion. You don't want to turn this into a squat. Feel those glutes and hamstrings load and avoid arching your lower back in an attempt to keep your chest up. Brace your abs and think a nice neutral back. Focus on this hip hinge as you introduce the swing, and don't let your arms take over or the speed cause you to shift your weight forward so you aren't properly loading your posterior chain. So how do you do the dumbbell skier swing? To do dumbbell skier swing, stand with your feet about hip width apart. Hold a dumbbell in each hand down by your sides. Start by slightly swinging your arms back towards the wall behind you. As you do, hinge over in response to help you balance and build up that spring to propel the weights forward as you stand up. You'll lean forward as you push your butt back to swing the weights up outside your hips. You're leaning forward only in response to help you counterbalance your weight. As you hinge over, your knees should be soft. Focus on pushing your butt back, but not on squatting down. Then drive the ground away as you squeeze your glutes to explosively come back up to standing, propelling the weights forward and up. Focus on that exhale as you propel the weights up to further help you brace your abs. Straighten your legs as you stand up tall at the top, squeezing your glutes to extend your hips. Watch the urge to lean back at the top as this can load your lower back. Let the weights swing up propelled by your legs. Don't try and pull them up higher with your arms. They may come up to shoulder height or slightly below, but don't focus on the height of the swing with your arms. To protect your back and control the move, be patient and wait for the weights to come back down and force you to hinge back over and sit your butt back. You don't want to hinge over before the weights truly lower down, as this can cause overload of your lower back. As you hinge back over with the weights swinging back outside your hips, your torso will lean forward to counterbalance. Think about being explosive with each drive back up to standing to propel those weights up as you're patient with the hinge back over to reload. You aren't slowing the weights down with your arms, you're just only hinging over in response to the weights coming back down. If you're struggling with the explosive hip hinge and controlling both weights, you may start with a single dumbbell even held between your legs in both hands. This will more closely mimic the basic kettlebell swing. Using 2 dumbbells in the skier style swing can be a great way to go heavier, especially if you're limited by the weights you have. If you find you struggle with loading your glutes and the weights get too far away from your body, causing your lower back to become overloaded as you hinge, you can also start with a band hip hinge. This move is a great way to learn how to explosively perform the hip hinge while really targeting those glutes. The pull of the band backwards will also help you control that hip hinge to load your glutes while teaching you to truly sit back. If you've been looking for a great strength and conditioning move to target those glutes and even your hamstrings, but you don't have a kettlebell, give this dumbbell skier swing a try. Just remember to focus on what you feel working so you get the full benefit of every exercise you include. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe. We're posting new videos each week.